Hey my Squidlings, it's Katie here, and welcome back to another demo interview video. And I figured for the last weekend in October/Inktober we could review something that's somewhat similar to an ink, I guess, because it is alcohol ink. And we're gonna take a look at these Chameleon markers. I purchased these at my local Hobby Lobby. They had a bunch of these 5 sets, and I picked up the Skintone one because I figured that one would benefit me the most. Because I do character drawings more than I do anything else, so I picked these up. They were not cheap. Chameleon markers are slightly expensive, but I did pick them up with a 40% off coupon, so they were a little bit cheaper. I think I got $10 off with my 40% off coupon, so that was always nice. So yeah, we're just gonna open it up. So I have already opened these up and I've played with them a little bit, but yeah, I decided to keep the packaging and all that stuff. So there's 3 of the markers. Ugh. And one of the cool things is it actually comes with a couple of replaceable brush nibs, which is nice. Because I plan on using those more than anything. So on the back, while we're still looking at the box here, it just says to create stunning effects such as 3D smooth transitions, highlighting, shading, graduations, and blending, all with one pen. Each pen goes from as light as a hint of a tint to rich tones. A hint of a tint, that's clever. Anyway, professional quality alcohol-based ink. They are refillable and they are replaceable nibs. Permanent on most surfaces, compatible with all other alcohol-based inks. And non-toxic and low odor. And then here are the colors that are included. But yeah, so that's as far as the box is going to take us. Now let's look at the markers themselves. Alright, so the first con that I already see is there's no stopper to keep them from rolling, and they are completely round, so they're just going to roll all over your desk. That's fun. Alright, so let's take a look at the markers themselves. They're really long. I've got a mat here, so they're what, 3, 6, almost 9 inches long. Really large. So on the top here, you can see that there's, well, hopefully you can see, there's like a little nib pointing down, and that's the mixing chamber. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And if you're curious on what color this is NU0 sand. These are dual tipped, so there is the bullet tip, and then on the other end, here's the brush tip, and it's a funky looking little brush tip, and I'm pretty sure it's felt, so it's probably not going to last ridiculously long. That's probably why they give you a couple of free nibs. Maybe. Okay, so this is the mixing chamber part. And what you can do is, here, let me grab a piece of paper. You can take, like, your brush nib, for example, and you just pop it right up in there, and they will touch. And you leave it upright. I'm sorry, my camera angle doesn't allow for you to see it very well, but you leave it upright for however many seconds. I've been leaving this in here for a while now. Okay. And then what you do is you color with it, and it's just basically clear alcohol that's in there, but it dilutes the marker. But they did it in such a way that it's not going to ruin your nib or anything. So you get like this huge gradient. And I do believe that's the actual color. Let's test it. Yeah, it's the actual color. So you get this really awesome gradient from nothing to the actual color. And then, yeah. So basically the point of this pen, these markers, whatever, is to get gradients without like a lot of work. These pens are really interesting. I think I will have fun trying to use them. They're a lot different than what I'm used to. I was playing around with them over here, and they're really best light to dark, as I wrote down there. I normally color dark to light. Actually, what I'm going to do is swatch these colors out first, and then I will be back to show you all the colors, because before I talk any further, you should probably know what they all look like. Alright, so now I've swatched out all the colors. So there is NU00, NU0, NU2, NU4, and BR4. And personally, I think BR4 is kind of out of place here. I get that they were trying to add a brown in here, but I don't know, it's a lot darker than the rest of them, and it doesn't blend very well. Now, if you're just using it as like a gradient, that's cool. One thing I find is the darker the color, the longer you have to leave it in the mixing chamber to get this gradation. All of these were left in the mixing chamber for about 10 seconds. This one was a little longer because I was trying to get it to gradate a little more, but I don't know, I like them. I think they're really good. I think they'll mix well together, and I think it'd be really fun to try and challenge myself to draw something with this. Now, more than likely, I'm not going to finish the illustration in this picture illustration-y thing because it's just skin tones. So what I might do is just color skin and kind of talk about how it was for me to color skin with this. So yeah. So without further ado, let's go ahead and you know what, before we do anything else though, I want to show you the line width. So here's the bullet tip line width. You can get a couple of different line widths with that. And then here is like thick on the brush tip, and you can get some flicky things. Yeah, so anyway, now we can go ahead and go into an illustration. And yeah, I'll talk further about all the pros and cons and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so I started off with a base layer. I'm more comfortable working with a base layer. I practiced with these a few times and I found it, personally for me, it was easier for me to get a good gradation with a base layer. So let's talk about these markers a little bit. They come in 50 different colors. Then they also have a colorless blender and a detail pen. You can get them in sets of 52, which includes all colors, the colorless blender, and the pen. A 30 set, which is their new set of colors. The 22 set, which is their original range of colors. 5 sets in, like, for instance, the Skintone set is one of their 5 sets, or you can buy them individually. The nibs are replaceable, as I said earlier, and the ink is refillable, so, you know, you'll get a lot of bang out of your buck as far as these markers are concerned. The cap colors are really close to the color that you actually get, which I find is nice. A lot of times companies will be a little bit off, and that can be frustrating, so I always recommend making color swatch anyway, but you know. Anyway, these take a little bit of practice to get used to. I'm definitely not 100% comfortable with them yet, but I mean, I'm comfortable enough to show them to you, but I mean, like, I will probably still learn new things as I go along with them. They're really fun and innovative though. I really feel like these are taking markers in a whole new direction, and I think it's really great. And you can get a really good variety of tones. You don't just get the one color, which I feel is nice. The only thing that I'm not used to yet is going from light to dark instead of dark to light, which I suppose I should probably get used to if I'm going to use these. And yeah, I really like these. They're really fun. It took me a little while to get a hang of how to color the hair. Because I wanted to have that nice shine, but all in all, I think I got it down pat pretty well. And these are really fun to use. I would highly recommend them if you want to try something new if you're already used to markers. I don't know if I'd recommend these for beginners because they are a little difficult to use. At least they were for me. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. That's totally valid. So anyway, yeah. So if you are interested in these markers, I will leave a link to where you can purchase them if you want to do so. Like I said, I'm not being paid or sponsored. I bought these with my own money and all that stuff. And as far as a rating is concerned, I'm going to go ahead and give these a 7.5 out of 10. I wasn't too keen on the barrel design itself. It's really large and it rolls around on my desk, which is annoying. So other than that, they're really great. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, guys, toodaloo! This is the many faces of Wash. So there is the okay, flabbergasted, terrified. Then there is angry, concentrating,